Hey my YouTube ladies, this is Miss Info. Really excited because this is my second video and I hope you guys are watching. So be ashamed to be recording just to yourself. But anyway, I have actually two topics I wanted to speak on today, and I'm going to do it pretty brief because I don't want to be long-winded about it. There's two stories that go along, well, it's only one story really go along with one of the topics. The first one is, for those of you who don't know me, you may want to look at my first video. I kind of introduced myself and told you a little bit of what I was about. I like to talk about relationships, seeing as how it's a big thing. Everybody, or practically everyone, wants someone. And I'm what I would like to call spiritual, to the point where I'm not overly a fanatic or anything, but I do believe that we're not placed on here to be alone, and that doesn't necessarily always mean in relationships, but in business. You know, most people think that they have to do everything on their own, and they really don't. But they may not be willing to let someone in to help them out. But as relationships goes, the one topic I wanted to talk about was snooping. Okay, ladies, let's just admit it. We carry the trophy for snooping. Men, you guys are stalkers. Yeah, you kind of got that one down. I have a story about a friend of mine who I actually saw this firsthand because I was over her home. We went out on a Friday, and you know, the usual, have a few drinks, maybe dinner, and I came back that Friday night. I stayed to that Saturday. Well, about 6 o'clock that morning, her doorbell was ringing and a few knocks, and I asked her, I said, you know, who is that this early in the morning? She happens to live alone. She has two daughters. They're off in college, 21 years of age, so they weren't coming home. But she says, I think I know who that is. I can't believe him. This man is 53 years old, people, okay? 53 years old. And he's pretty possessive. Me and her sister have always said, you know, really, dude? He's done a lot of things. I'm just giving you one example right now, which shows that he has no trust. And I'm sure it wouldn't be just with her. It probably would extend with anyone he gets with, which is pretty sad. Anyhow, she says, I'm going to leave him knocking because he does this, and I'm tired of it. And she goes back in her room. And kid you not, people, I was so amazed at this. I mean, I've been through my own weird and funny things, and I will tell you those later. But I kept looking out the window thinking, he's still there. And it was 2.5 hours later. It's about 6 o'clock he came. About 8:30, she decides to get up, and she's like, is he still out there? Like, she wasn't really all that surprised if I said, yeah. I'm like, yeah, he's been going from his car. He went around the back once or twice. He's been sitting in his car most of the time. I can't tell what he's doing. I said, but I kind of laid down a little bit, dozed off, got back up, looked out, he's still there. She's like, okay, I'm going to let him in. I'm like, I got to get front row seat. So I go downstairs, and I'm sitting in the living room waiting on her to let him in the door. Okay, well, she lets him in the door. This man comes in the door like somebody was chasing him, and he hits her alarm system on because she has an alarm, you know, to keep her safe. She's a young lady living by herself. She's about 39, 40. I'm 38. And he hits the alarm. He has this crazy look on his face, like, yeah, you know, like, I got you. Yeah, what are you gonna do? And I'm like, what is he doing? And it dawns on me. I think it hits her at the same time. You ever have one of them friends that you guys kind of know what you're thinking? And I'm thinking, this man thinks that if he hits the alarm, which means, now remember, he doesn't have the alarm code. We're not locked in because she has the alarm code. But he hits the alarm code because he's thinking, if anyone goes out that back door or out of one of her windows, I'm going to catch him. Pretty pathetic. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So, anyway, she just looks at him. She laughs with me, and she just looks at him and shakes her head, and she goes back upstairs, and she closes the door. And because she's known him for 3 or 4 years, it's not a big deal. He stays in the house. I'm sure he went and checked in closets. But he stays in the house, and yeah, needless to say, I got myself together and went home. But I just couldn't believe that. It was funny, at the same time it was sad, and it made me think about it when I thought of the story yesterday. I said I'm going to have to share this with people, because it kind of depicts a person who, seriously, I mean, they don't have any self-esteem. I mean, he should have some confidence in himself and his abilities to have someone to care enough about him that they wouldn't want to do those types of things. And for her, I've said it to her before, I'm sure her sister has as well. Hey, if you feel like if a person has to feel like they have to snoop or try to check you out, There's no reason to be bothered. Me, if I feel like I have to go behind someone and snoop, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to stay with them. Now, that's not to say I've never done it. Okay, remember early on I said, women, we carry the trophy for snooping. We do. Okay? But I know a lot of people think that, hey, it's a respect thing. You shouldn't do the snooping. Why snoop? You know. Well, there's exception to every rule. I'm a believer of that. And in the snooping thing, if ladies, I think the exception is if, and men, I guess, I'll say men too, guys. I'm not going to leave you out because there's some crazy women too. But if you ever get a really, really gut-wrenching feeling that something's not right, and you got to think about it though. You have to weigh the options here. You have to look at everything and put everything on the table, basically. If you never had them types of feelings before, okay, meaning you're not the paranoid one, and this person, you know, you felt good about them, for whatever reason, because honestly, when you start to trust people, it's not hard if you're open to it. The things that people say, the things that they do, even the small things they're not paying attention to, all will let you know whether or not they're trustworthy, whether you know it or not. Think about it. Have you ever been getting to know someone and you realize that, hey, 3 months ago we were talking about such a, and it hits you, they're saying something else that goes right along with what they said 3 months ago. I'm not saying there's not people out there that really, really can, you know, remember every single thing they say, but those are really sadistic people. But the bottom line is, if you're a good person in heart, okay, and then I believe on the other side, if God is with you, showing you mercy, I don't care how sneaky and slick they are. When you get that feeling, you need to check it out, okay, because I've done it. I just don't make a habit of doing it, and I try to go in every relationship that I've ever been into with the trust. You know, they have to gain it, just like I do, but pretty much with an open, even an open slate for the person who I'm trying to get to know, without the paranoia, the distrust, and all that from past relationships. Let it go. Okay. If you don't have any mental illness or any type of past hurts, you know, well, if you do, rather, I mean, you know, don't bring it into the next relationship. It's not good. Learn the lesson, people, and try to not do the snooping thing. It's really and the possessive thing, all that. It's really embarrassing, and it's pathetic. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say today, ladies. Oh, also, I'm sorry, the other topic, real quick. This was kind of funny. I was talking to my cousin the other day, and we were talking about fornication. Okay, and this is for those of you who are believers. Okay, I know there's some people out there, and I think I said this in my last video, that believe in the universe, the very spiritual being in the universe. Numerology is, you know, astrology. There's people who believe, you know, in other beliefs. I don't know, other idols and so forth, and gods and so forth. And that's fine, because I respect everyone else's beliefs and religions. So that's not it. I'm not here to judge. However, I'm only speaking from my perspective. And anyway, for those of you who know about church, we were in church, and my cousin was like, Miss So-and-so, Sister So-and-so pulled me to the side and said, you know, honey, I know you got the 2 babies. If you ever need me to help you out with babysitting, let me know. This is a sister in church, an older lady. And she's been married for 25, 30, 40, no. She's been married for a good 40 years. I'm sorry. I had to think about that for a second. So I was thinking about another lady who just had a baby, not a baby shower, but a wedding shower, who was telling us about her parents and threw me off there. But anyway, she's been married for about 40 years, I guess. And she's older, but she's not old. And the thing about it is, she tells my cousin that you have to sustain, you know, those babies can't see different men and so forth. And I agree with her, coming in and out of her life. I do agree with that. But what I thought was funny is what she told her, you know, you can do it. It's not hard. This is the lady's exact words. This is what she tells me she said to her. But you need to stop. And you can't do the fornication thing, because you know God doesn't like that. Well, I'm going to close with this. I understand that, and I do know what God expects of us as Christians. However, I'm a jokester, you guys will get to know that. The funny thing to me is how people who have been married to the same person for 18, I mean, since they were 18 or for many, many years, who either gets it every night, let's face it, people, okay, well, they don't do it at all anymore, can kind of tell you when you're in your prime peak that it's easy to stop. That it's it's easy to maintain, and it shouldn't be hard. That's just funny to me anyway. Thank you guys for I can hear my cell phone. I apologize. I should have probably turned it on. But anyway, that's all I have for you today, and I will do another video on another topic. Please feel free to respond, to give me other topics to talk about. Go to my blog at missinfo-balcony climbers, all one word, blogspot.com. Again, that's missinfo-balcony climbers at blogspot.com. And feel free to leave your comments. Thanks, guys. See you next time.